We just took another e-commerce brand from $20K to $1 million in sales with their online store. And I'm sure you've heard about e-commerce and how all these people out there are getting rich by doing it. And that is because there are known steps that have been proven time and time and again to be able to take a store from just starting out to being able to get to multiple 7 figures per year. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Chappell, and I've scaled multiple 6, 7, and 8-figure businesses and have helped thousands of brands with their Facebook and TikTok ads, allowing them to be able to go all the way to $1 million months and even 9 figures. And I can 100% say there's definitely a common thread among the businesses that are able to go from 0 to $1 million per year, compared to those who cannot. So in today's video, I'm gonna walk you through the high-level roadmap to being able to go from 0 to $1 million per year with your online e-commerce store. And now, not everyone succeeds in e-commerce, but I can definitely assure you, if you apply the steps, rewatch this video, optimize, look for constant ways to improve, then you're definitely gonna have a higher odd of being able to get more sales than not. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna show you an example of a client we just worked with where we've been consistently increasing their sales month over month using the exact strategies that I'm gonna be showing you in this video. And as you can see, they crossed $1 million in the last year. And this is what consistent growth really looks like, where they're starting out, at $0, they get to the 20K months, they go to 30K, then they hit 50K, then we work our way up to 70, 80, 100, and then make our way all the way up to 150K per month, which is pacing their store at, multiple 7 figures per year. And they have tons of sessions that are growing, their conversion rate is there, their AOVs are there. There's a lot of steps in between where they started and where they are now, and we took them on this exact roadmap to get there. And so you're gonna be able to follow this roadmap as well, and we took them on the exact roadmap to get there. So here's the roadmap to $1 million per year. The first step in this roadmap is the website. Before you do anything with your Facebook ads, TikTok ads, organic marketing, having your friends or family go to your website to buy, there's some known steps that you need to complete before you go to the very next step. And the first one is the website. You're gonna wanna make sure you're at a 3 to 10% conversion rate. This is very important because if you're sending people to your website, you're gonna wanna make sure that they are buying. And without having a well-optimized website that is converting, you're gonna be missing out on traffic. You're gonna be wasting ad dollars. You're gonna be struggling when you're scaling. If you experience inconsistency in your results where some days you get sales and some days you don't, or you struggle by hitting a barrier in your monthly sales, that's gonna come down to a lot of cases being associated with your conversion rate, because people visit your website and then they drop off because it's either lacking information, something's not clear, the offer isn't structured the right way, there's a pain point that you're not resolving, the offer doesn't make sense, or the entire funnel from click to purchase is broken. But that's okay because I'm gonna be breaking down how we can resolve some of those things. The other one is your AOVs are likely too small. So you want to be averaging at least at a very minimum a 30 plus AOV. The reason for this is because when you do decide to start running Facebook and TikTok ads or sending traffic to your website, in order to really maintain profitability and get a good ROI, you're going to want to make sure that your AOVs are over $30. Because if your average cost per purchase with your Facebook ad is, say, $10, well, and it costs you $5 to fulfill it, and it costs you, $15 to make the product, you're already losing money. So you want to make sure your AOVs are high enough so that way you can be able to have a profit left over and be able to reinvest that to scale your store. We'll break this down more in the video, but for the next point, you're going to want to make sure you have a 20 to 40% returning customer rate. Now, I see a lot of stores that either do this very well or they don't do it well at all. They either have like a 1% returning customer rate or they have something super high like a 40% plus. Ideally, as long as you're within the 20 to 40% returning customer rate, your sales are going to be stacking month over month. This makes it easier on your acquisition cost. It can also allow you to spend more money on acquiring a customer because you know people are going to be returning. This is what big brands understand. If you think about Walmart, Amazon, all these massive retailers and online e-commerce businesses, they understand that if they can just get a customer in the door, then they're going to be able to hook them and get them to constantly come back. That's where a lot of the profits are unlocked for, multiple 7-figure businesses is in the returning customer rate, because that's where the ROIs begin to come through. Now, some of the things that you can do to improve your conversion rate if you're below a 3% is conversion rate optimization. And that essentially means going through your website and making tweaks. And I'll show you an example of this. If we go to Olipop as an example, this is a brand that's doing more than 7 figures. They're doing 10 million plus, even in some cases 20 million plus per month. You can go to their website and you can start to see the differences between what they're doing and what you're doing. Now, you might not sell soda or pop, but what matters is how the flow of the purchase process goes and how they keep everything cohesive with their brand. And this can apply to any product. It doesn't matter what you're selling. You're going to want to make sure you have consistent branding amongst your colors. You're going to want to make sure things are clear in your headlines. You're going to want to make sure you have a clear call to action and a very direct offer. And what I mean by that is, if we just look at the very first page on their homepage, we have a clear distinction of what they're selling. Here is the Olipop Peaches and Cream product, which is a soda that people can buy and drink. So we already know that they're selling soda. Believe it or not, most people don't even show a clear image of their product on their homepage, and it definitely affects your conversion rate. How do you expect people to buy if they don't know what you're selling? The other thing is you want to keep it simple. And that's no pun intended, but it's simply peachy. They have a very direct headline. They're talking about the flavor. And then they have Shop Peaches and Cream. This is directing people to go and shop the product. A lot of times people don't even have a button. The button is hard to see. It's being covered by the product, or it's visually just not there. So you're going to want to make sure your product's off to the right or, to the left, and you have a very centered up, clear, concise call to action. The other thing is the padding on their website is very concise. What I mean by that is they have the font size here that's easy to read, but they don't have any additional padding. It's just that one line of text. Same thing for their menus. Sometimes people's menus are so big it takes up half the screen. How do you expect people to start learning about your brand or product if half of your screen is just dedicated to your menu? You got to simplify things for the average consumer. They also have another very clear shop button, which shows you all of the flavors that they offer. This is also a very important thing to do. And as we go through this process, let's click on shop. We're directly migrated over to the product page. And although a lot might be looking like it's going on here, it's an organized chaos. They have the reviews, so that way we can read how customers like the product. They say single flavor, so that way we know we're not getting a variety. 12 cans, so that way we know we're receiving 12 cans. Believe it or not, most people don't have this information, and it is very confusing. I was just speaking with a client the other day. He was selling seasoning, and people didn't even know that they could buy multiple packs of the seasoning, and they didn't realize it came with more than one just because he just didn't call it out, and people wouldn't buy. And once that was cleared up, his purchases started coming in every single day. These little details matter. The ingredients, because people are health fanatics these days, it's important to have information around this that people care about. A very clear shot of the product itself is very important. A lot of times people don't have that. You want to have multiple images, even a video highlighting the product. And then we have color swatches in line with the different flavors. And this is another visual. If you sell something that can be consumed, or you sell beauty, or you sell anything that can be, put in your hair, a lot of times people don't even show the hair paste. They just show the logo of the product, but they don't even show what the actual paste looks like. You got to show visuals that allow people to imagine it. You can almost imagine the classic root beer flavor just by seeing it in this glass of ice. Believe it or not, there's a lot of psychology that goes into this. And this is the difference between getting a high converting site and not. And some of the other things are, if we're looking at the AOVs being at 30 plus, well, we're going to want to improve that by having special offers, bundles, upsells, and cross-sells. Now, what do I mean by that? If we go back to their website, we have our single flavors, which is 12 cans. Rather than just selling one can for $5.99, they're selling a 12 pack for $35.99. They're above the AOV of $30, which is your average order value. Then they have variety packs, where you can click on a variety pack, and you can also subscribe and save. This ensures that they get the returning customer rate up, which is the third point we were just referring to, the 20 to 40% of people returning to the site. If people get auto subscription, that's going to boost up the subscription rate. Now you might be saying, okay, Chase, well, I don't sell soda. I don't sell something that needs to be purchased multiple times. That's totally okay. You don't have to have a subscribe and save option, and it probably doesn't make sense. But what does matter is the AOV factor. And if you are going to get returning customers, then you need to have other products that are complementary to what you sell. For instance, if you sell iPhone cases, you're probably not going to be on a subscription where you're getting a new iPhone case every single month or week. But what you can do is you can offer laptop cases that are complementary to the iPhone case. So now you have an additional product that people can return to your website to buy. And this is important. If they believe your brand is the place to go for all of the different cases, whether it's a skin for your Xbox controller, your iPhone, your laptop, people will start to return to your site and buy. So there are creative ways that you need to discover to be able to fix that. And so going back to some of the AOV factors, we have a purchase rate that fits in. If they add to cart, they can spend $50 or more to subscribe to free shipping. Free shipping people love, so somebody might add 24 cans. So now they have 2 packs of the sodas. What just happened here was I literally was able to double our AOV just by asking somebody, hey, if you want to get free shipping, spend $50. Most people are likely going to complete this action, and it's going to give you an overall lift in your AOVs. This is something that directly helps you get more purchases out of each individual customer, which will translate to your Facebook and TikTok ads. So you're going to want to go through your website, make adjustments, and review these things. So that is the first step. Now that we've completed step 1, you've optimized your website. You've got your upsells. You've improved your offer. You're migrating your AOVs to scale up from below $30 to above $30. Maybe you even got your AOVs to 60 or 70. Now you can start to get returning customers. You've added in a subscription app if it makes sense for your product, or you have complementary products that you're offering people in addition to what they are purchasing on your site. Now we can go into step number 2, which is where we actually begin to drive traffic to our website because we know it's converting. And that is organic social. Now, what's great about being able to go from $0 to $1 million a year is you can take this in baby steps. And one of the roadmap steps are, well, before you spend any money on paid traffic, you can first start to generate sales organically and start to master your content production. So what I see with brands that are able to go from 0 to $1 million, and what we do with businesses is we ensure they have around 9 to 100 posts on social media. Essentially, you want to make sure your feed is filled up. If you have a brand new page, you want to get some posts out there talking about your product, sharing the background story of the business, highlighting the features and benefits, sharing some reviews, talking about how you created the product or what the idea was behind the business. As long as you can get 9 to 10, posts out there, then you're already, able to complete that step. Because now when people visit your social media page, there's content for them to digest. And maybe they might even visit your website and purchase because it's well optimized. The other thing is you're going to want to be anywhere between 1 to 100K plus followers. If you only have 50 followers on your organic social media page, people might think it's a scam. They might not trust you. These are psychological things that do impact your overall sales and conversion rate. So you're going to want to make sure to be consistent with your posting, build up your followers, share stories on your IG, make TikTok and Instagram Reels posts. And then another big thing is averaging 1K to 1 million views per post. This is important because each post could equate to a customer purchasing. If you get 1,000 unique people to view your post, that's pretty incredible. And if you have a strong call to action at the end of that post, you might get 2 to 3 people out of that 1,000 to buy. And that is where you can start to begin to see your first 10K in sales. So how do we do this? 1, you need to make sure you have a consistent feed with organized branding. You're going to have call to actions. This is where you direct people to go to your website to buy. The other one is making sure that you follow the viral organic formats that are proven to convert. So what do I mean by that? Let's go ahead and review some social media organic pages so that way we can get an idea. I'm going to look at a few examples beyond Olipop. So here we have them, and we're on their TikTok account. They have 3 nice callouts, a new kind of soda. People now know what it is. They have a clear image of their soda can. People know it's a soda. 2 to 5 grams of sugar. This is a feature and benefit, which is maybe most sodas are 30 grams, so theirs is lower. 9 grams of fiber. Most sodas don't have fiber. That's a benefit. You can find them in Walmart, Target, Whole Foods, and then they have their link tree to direct them to the website. The next thing is they have posts going up pretty consistently. You can see they've been posting regularly. Now, you don't have to be in the content. If you are able to create videos, then that's definitely going to be better. And you want to be able to put out posts around your product. You can follow trends. You can tell the background story as a founder. You can do a, product review of here's how to try our, soda with different fruits or different, food products that go well with it. These are things that matter. So you want to make sure you're consistently uploading. And when you're just starting out and trying to get to that first 0 to 10K, you don't need to overthink it. You just need to get in the habit of producing the content. We can always refine it later and get it more dialed in as we improve. Now, I'm going to show you an example of somebody's TikTok account that we're directly working with that is doing more than $1 million a year. They don't have nearly as many posts as Olipop. Like I said, they have at least the minimum of 9, which is what we require. They don't have any crazy view volume, but they are getting at least 1,000 views on some posts. And I can already tell you these 2 posts that they put up here, they saw sales from. And they were able to do a few $100s in sales just off of these posts organically. And not only that, but their website was optimized, so they were able to maximize that traffic. They have some clear and concise callouts, and it's very easy to understand what they're offering just by watching one of their videos. Now, if we look at their Instagram, it might not be as well branded or put together as Olipop, but we still know that they have a product here. It's a joint extract that can help with, back pain, absorbable and effective formulas, research-backed, herbs, fungi. They have about 26,000 followers. They're doing product comparisons, comparing a, different product compared to what they offer to highlight the benefits. You can see they made this image in Canva. And they're at least putting up some trends and keeping consistent with their content and building up their page. Now, the reason this matters is when people visit your social media organic content, they can find out more about your product, go to your website, get the information, and buy. This will also be very important later on when we decide to run Facebook ads, because if people click on the ad and go to your social media page, you want to make sure that it's filled in, is legit, has content that people can explore, because it helps with the buyer's journey. So you're going to want to make sure to have the viral organic formats. And I do have a video right here that you can watch to go over those viral organic formats. I cover all of the ways that you can go viral, get sales organically. Now, once you've completed step 2, you got your organic content up, you've optimized your website, you're going to be pacing anywhere between 0 to 1K, 0 to 10K, if you're staying consistent with it. Step number 3 is where you can unlock immense scale. This is when you start running Facebook ads. And what matters here is you need to make sure that if your ad creatives are not at least at a minimum at a 1 to 2% click-through rate, then you likely don't have creatives that truly are compelling enough to get people to go to your website. If you can't maintain a 1 to 2% click-through rate, then you need to rework your creatives. The other thing is you need to calculate your break-even ROAS. If you don't know your break-even, then there's no way for you to know how much profit you're making, and you're gonna be left in the dark in knowing what to do with your Facebook ads. And the average business is usually around a 1.8x break even. And a 2 to 10x is really where the profits are and are scalable. And that's the range you're gonna wanna be in. And then you wanna make sure you're consistently scaling. Now, to calculate your break even, you can go to surge.com, you can go to Toolbox, and we put together a ROAS calculator for you. And once you go to the calculator, you can calculate your break even. This will tell you if you're profitable. Whatever your break even ROAS number is, anything above that means you're making a profit, which is good because that means you're netting money and you're going to be able to reinvest in the business, because that's how we're going to be able to do exactly what I was just showing you here with this client who's in our mentorship. The only way that they were able to go from, where they were before to being able to get to the $1 million was because they knew their break even, they optimized their website like we spoke about in this video, they did the organic content, and they followed the steps. So you want to make sure you do the same. So to calculate your break even, you're going to input all of these metrics around your business. So you need to go find out where all of this information is. Your AOV is on your website, your average cost of goods, processing fees. List goes on, fill in this information, and once you know your break even, you can then begin to understand if your Facebook ads are working. So when we go back, you want to make sure you have the good click-through rates, which is an optimized creative that has a compelling offer that clearly, highlights the benefits of your product or the reasons people should buy, the engagement. A profitable ROAS, a 2 to 10x ROAS. If your break even's a 1.5 and you're at a 2x, well, you're making money. And if you're at a 10x ROAS, then you're definitely making a ton of sales and getting really good returns. Now, where people get held up with Facebook ads is not being able to get any consistency out of it at all. This means that you're getting a good return on ad spend. You have the great click-through rates. You're spending $1,000 a month and making back, $3,000 to $10,000. But then as soon as you scale to $2,000 a month, all of a sudden you're only making $1,500 and you're losing money. This is a big problem that people experience, and it prevents them from being able to get to the $1 million plus a year mark. And that's because their ads are inconsistent, something breaks in the process, and that usually comes down to your creative not being compelling enough to a very broad audience. What I mean by that is your creative might be over specific, the offer might not be competitive enough, your website might not be well optimized enough. There's a lot of factors. So if you complete step 1 and 2, then you know that you need to focus on the Facebook ad creative to really hone in what that offer looks like. And so you're going to want to make sure you have 5 to 10 ad creatives. If you only have 1 or 2 and one of them starts to get creative fatigue, which means it's not resonating with people anymore, well, your ads are definitely going to be inconsistent. They're going to drop off. But if you have 5 to 10 ad creatives and you're refreshing them, meaning uploading new ones every month, you're going to be getting better and better results, and it's much more likely you're going to be able to scale, increasing your ROAS, and also increasing your ad spend from $1,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 monthly, and being able to see your sales go from 20, 30, 50K months. And then your campaign structure. If you have more than 5 campaigns, you're likely not doing Facebook ads right. Or if you just have 1 campaign, then it also probably means you're not doing Facebook ads right. You need to have a campaign structure that makes sense. And what I mean by that is you want to make sure you're optimizing by testing new audiences and creatives. That's a testing campaign, to always be searching for a better return on ad spend, better click-through rates, so that way you can get more sales and orders, and then taking those creatives and moving them into your scaling campaigns. Your scaling campaign might be a broad audience that has been proven time and time and again to work, so you're able to spend 100 daily, 500 daily, and still maintain your ROAS. Then you have maybe an Advantage Plus, which is taking all of your account data and keeping everything optimized and also scaling. And maybe you even have a retargeting campaign to retarget the add to carts to get people to purchase. You have a special offer creative that highlights, hey, you added to cart, but you didn't purchase, here's 10% off, or a 10% off first time customer purchase coupon. I have a video on this as well, which is how to run Facebook ads in full. We cover the campaign structure, the audiences, the creative. So check out those 2 videos there, because that'll guide you through those steps. The next step is step number 4, and that is TikTok ads. Now, step 1 through 3, you can get to $1 million plus a year. You don't have to have TikTok ads, but you might cap out on Facebook ads, and they might be very consistent. Maybe you can't scale fully. TikTok ads is a channel that can unlock a ton of sales growth opportunity for you. It can be very explosive. And if you know how to do the creatives right, then it can be a platform that is very scalable that most people underestimate. And if you want to test out TikTok ads, I have this TikTok offer for you. If you spend $1,500, you can get $1,500. And that's a special offer just for you. You can click the link below this video and activate that. Now with TikTok ads, this is usually when you're doing about, 20 to 50K months and you're trying to get to that 100K month, or maybe you're doing more than that and you're just wanting to extend the amount of sales because you're maxing out other channels. TikTok ads can help you get there. So with TikTok ads, you want to make sure you're above a 2% click-through rate. The reason that is because TikTok ads aren't as competitive as Facebook ads. It's very easy to get over 2%. And if you're not over 2%, then your creative is not resonating. It's either over edited, there's too much production, it's not TikTok branded, meaning it's not shot on an iPhone or doesn't fit in with the TikTok feed. There might be too much promotion. You want to make your videos seem natural, authentic, almost like you're FaceTiming somebody. That's the style of ad. As if you're FaceTiming your mother or grandmother and explaining your product to them. That's how you want your TikTok ad to be. The authenticity factor matters. Now with TikTok ads, you're going to want to be above break even. So calculate that if you haven't already. And then usually a 2 to 10x ROAS is where you can start to scale. And then you're going to want to maintain consistency when scaling. And to do this, you're going to want to refresh your creatives weekly. TikTok creatives go quick, meaning they expire very fast because they will get a lot of sales in the first week and then they have a tendency to drop off. TikTok is a fast-paced platform, so it requires you to constantly be improving your creative and launching new ones every week. And I recommend around 7 to 10 creatives and then rotating in 2 to 3 every week thereafter. This is crushing it for clients. They're all averaging, 3, 5, 7, 10x ROAS by following this exact method. And if you want to see what kind of TikTok ad creatives that convert, check out this video. Once again, it'll break it down. And then you're going to want to have those proven ad formats. And when we look at TikTok ads, here's an example of a client of ours, Waterboy. If we look at their website, well branded, strong call to action, just how we saw on Olipop, just how Plants Basically is. If we go to their website, product on the right, call to action on the left, very clear. We look at their organic content. They have the feeds. They've completed step number 2. They have, the 1,100K plus followers. They're averaging, 1 to 100K plus per video, and they're absolutely crushing it and getting tons of organic sales. In fact, they were able to do over 300,000 a month just off organic alone. It's absolutely crazy. The opportunities are out there. And then for step number 3, they have their Facebook ads converting at 3 to 5x ROAS. And then they even have the TikTok ads rolling as well. So here's some of their TikTok ads. They have a very simple branded creative, which is going to convert somewhat. It's clear about the product, but what you're really going to see is videos like this.
How it feels to drink other hydration brands versus how it feels to drink Waterboy. So packed with hydration and electrolytes, it'll get you wet. Go to waterboy.com so you can get wet too.
Very simple video, highlights the product, highlights the benefits, talks about hydration, and it's a very short video, but these types of videos do convert. They're able to handle high budgets, meaning you could spend upwards of 50K a month, averaging a very consistent ROAS and scale. So you're going to want to make sure you have multiple ad formats. You can see that they have different videos.
Always promise my girlfriends on a night out. It is a night for the girls.
This one's energetic. This one's a little bit slower. This one's more branded. You want to have different variations. So TikTok ads is a great way to scale in. You can launch TikTok Shop. You can be able to scale up as long as you have creatives coming in on a regular basis. This can help you get to the 100K plus per month mark. And if we look at Plants Basically, which is a client, and we look at some of their metrics from a call we had with them, and so we can see that they have the broad audience at 60 daily. They got about 15 purchases already, and they're averaging a 3x ROAS following these exact strategies. So you can see that it is consistent and it can be scalable. They're spending about $500 to $1,000 a day on Facebook ads, maintaining a consistent ROAS, which got them to 80 to 100K. They've added in TikTok ads, which unlocks an additional 10 to 20K monthly at the 60 to 100 daily mark at a 3x to 5x ROAS. So as long as you follow these, roadmap steps and unlock each chain and do it in the exact way that has a good converting creative, a good converting website, and all of these different steps, you can start to see your month over month sales increase just like I was showing you here. Okay, so what is the next step after this? You've got your Facebook ads rolling. You're starting to scale up. You've tested your TikTok ads. Well, step number 5 is your email and SMS. And really, step number 5 should be implemented amongst all these steps equally. So you should really launch this early on. But if you haven't, most stores don't. They're usually late to this. Step number 5 is getting your email and SMS optimized. And you're going to want to be sending 2 to 3 emails and SMS messages every single week. This is where you're hitting your list. It's totally free to reach out to your customer list or your email list because you've already collected their emails. You're able to send them offers, highlight new releases, holiday campaigns, talking about reviews, and getting them to convert on your website. This is a very quick way to add an additional $10,000 to $20,000 a month to your website, all by using email and SMS. So you're going to want to make sure to have unique offers, special discounts, and then when you really unlock the big growth where you're doing 20 to 50K off your email list, that's because people understand custom segments. And what I mean by that is they have a very well branded email that highlights their brand. It mimics their website. It looks the same as their social. It all fits in. And then they have their discounts. They have a loyalty email flow. They have a recovery email flow and a nurturing campaign flow. Each of these flows are helping customers return, helping people buy if they added to cart, giving them offers to make sure they convert, and then they have their list separated by category. Meaning if somebody submits their email because they added to cart, and then they leave the website and don't purchase, that means you didn't get the sell. But if you have an email and SMS notification go out immediately and then every couple of days thereafter reminding them to check out, you might recover 5 to 10% of those people who never bought to actually purchase. That means you're going to add a few $1,000s, a month extra just off of that one email flow. And then we have our nurturing, which is customers who've already bought. You're introducing them to new products. That's another, couple of $1,000s a month. And then we have our discounts, which is, hey, if you sign up on our email list and you're a first-time customer, you get 10% off. Just submit your email. We'll give you the code. That incentivizes people to try out your product for the first time. So you want to make sure you have email and SMS. And I have a video breaking down each of these flows here. Step number 6 is Google Ads. This is usually launched and isn't necessary until around 80K months. And that's really the best time to do it. You don't have to go overboard with, scaling up Google Ads. There's so many stores that'll go from 0 to 100K without Google, but Google Ads can unlock an easy 20K extra a month in sales just by doing the retargeting. So you want to make sure you have Google Shopping retargeting when you're at the 80K plus monthly mark, because this is typically when you have competitors targeting your keywords, your brand's starting to become known, and people are trying to come after you. And typically you'll spend around 1 to 5K on ad spend for retargeting. That's where you're retargeting your branded keywords, you're showing your products in the shopping feed, and you're usually averaging a 3 to 20x. It's a very high return on ad spend, but it's a retargeting audience, which means that these customers are already interested. You're just making sure that your competitors aren't stealing your keywords and you're showing up first and not allowing them to get duped into going to a competitor's website and buying. This is tactics that competitors use once your store is usually scaled up. And typically around the 80K monthly mark, people are finding out about your brand. Your competitors are probably starting to wonder, hey, what are you doing over here? They're growing, and they're going to try to hijack your traffic. So to combat this, you just basically start to buy up your own branded keywords, stay top of mind, and show up in the retargeting around your competitors' products as well. And what this looks like is if we look at Olipop, if I just type in Olipop, they're targeting their own brand keyword. You can see that it's an ad, it's sponsored, and they're showing their products. No other competitors showing here. Same thing for Plants Basically. If we type in their brand name, sponsored, you can see the products are showing here. That's ensuring that the competitors are not coming here. Now, if we go to Waterboy, they're not maximizing their Google Shopping retargeting. We have lots of competitors here running ads trying to steal their traffic. This is what I mean by the Google Shopping retargeting. You want to make sure that you keep the feed so that way people don't say, okay, I heard about Waterboy, maybe I want to buy it, but what is this brand or what is this product? They might navigate away. So you want to make sure that that doesn't happen, because that can ensure that you maintain an additional 10 to 20K extra in monthly sales just by keeping everything with your brand keywords targeted with your own Google Shopping ads. So that is a great step to get you over that 100K monthly mark, and is typically the 80K months is a great time to do that. So if you haven't set that up and you're already doing more than that volume and you don't have Google Shopping ads, then you definitely should. So you're going to want to make sure you retarget your brand keywords, you have consistent spend. You're not really scaling up the retargeting. You're really just keeping it very consistent, maximizing it, and getting those purchases. And then you always want to keep this on even once you're hitting 100K, 200K, 500K months, because it's going to get even more competitive. So you want to make sure that you constantly remain covering all your brand keywords. All right, so we've gone over the roadmap. These are some of the steps that you can actively implement. And I've gone ahead and listed down the tools below, from being able to capture the break-even ROAS, how to use the TikTok ad credits to your advantage so that way you have some additional marketing spend. I've even linked some of the other videos that cover more in depth of each of these topics. And we've done this with so many brands. And in fact, we've actually broken this into our e-commerce accelerator. This is where we go to the next level. I've given you the high level roadmap, but for the very specific details from the ad copy, the exact creatives, how to structure the campaigns, when to scale, when to optimize, how to get an extra 1.5, 3, 5x ROAS on top of what you're already doing, how to make it more consistent. Every little detail around your website, your TikTok ads, your email and SMS, every step of those roadmaps I've broken down for you into the e-commerce accelerator. This is a brand new curriculum. We're releasing modules every single week covering these exact topics in full to help you go from 0 to 100K monthly. And finally, if you're already around the 80 to 100K monthly marks or really looking to ramp up, expedite the process, and bring way more consistency to your business, then I recommend checking out our one-on-one mentorship. This is where you get to work directly with me and my team one-on-one. We'll guide you through all of these steps, provide a custom strategy and game plan for you, be there with you every step of the way, showing you how to optimize the ads, the website, helping you with the templates, the creatives, the ad copy, everything you need to really go from the 100K to 200K to 300K, even the $1 million months, and we're gonna give you the exact strategy to be able to do that. So if you want one-on-one guidance, or even if you want one-on-one guidance before the 100K monthly mark to be able to expedite this entire process so that way we can do it with you, then make sure to book a call below to see if you qualify for the one-on-one mentorship. And if you want to be able to get access to our curriculum, then I recommend purchasing that so that way you have our e-commerce accelerator and can get this entire roadmap in immense details. And once again, it's your favorite digital marketer here, Chase Chappell. Cheers and bye y'all.